Hello everybody, it is Calxiyn here. If you guys enjoyed this video, remember that you guys should become patrons over on Patreon if you guys want to support the channel, but you guys can just subscribe. Subscribe. We got our community tab.
Oh, for the love of God, you're
That's the last time I'm gonna say it. Alright,
So every other time it's just gonna be like, community tab?
We don't know.
Anyways,
so we're gonna talk about what the fuck is wrong with Oscar.
Yeah,
not in a analysis way, but more in a, like, what the trailer showed way, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So,
well, it just looked like he was
falls on the floor, and
is it that these
and
motherfuckers...
everybody looks angry at him, and then he screams. So here's what I'm thinking.
Okay, why... Can I just ask a question first?
Go ahead.
That sounded a little... Okay, motherfucker.
Okay, Hunter. Go ahead. Like.
Anyway.
Okay.
Wow, I'm surprised I didn't cover the webcam with spit that time. People seem to lose their mind over poor old Oscar. Like, I'm sure, you know, people were just like, Oscar's hurt. He was lying down. Oh goodness, what's happening to Oscar?
Oh, okay.
And then people looked at the floating person and was like, floating dude. I'm like, what the fuck? Dude, a 12-year-old fell down. That shit just happens, right? I think I had vertigo when I was 12. I just found myself on the ground. Here
are some options, right?
I stop, like, now I investigate shit when I fall over. Now I'm like, oh, fuck, shoelaces, or, mud slip. Back then I was just like, well, I'm on the ground again. And yet people, it's a floating guy. Anyways, continue.
So, some people think a couple things. So the first one is that Oscar is, like, weak, he's tired, he falls on the floor, and the reason why they all look kind of mad at him is because, like, we're all fucking tired, Oscar! Like, we have to keep going! Or something like that.
I am a farmhand! Well, I guess this isn't even a good point, because, like, yeah, they're, like, supposed to be badass mercenary fighter chicks, but, I mean, he's still a farmer, like, that's still, like, hard labor. Like, I'm sure he's
pretty skinny, though.
I mean, yeah, he's skinny, but also I'm sure he's tough, you know? Okay.
But in the cold. His farm was in the sun, like last time we saw it. So.
That's fair.
Yeah. So that's one. Two, some people think that he's sort of merging or having some sort of flashback with Ozpin, and so that's why he's fallen and screaming. Like, he's basically getting sick. Sort of like, this is a bad comparison, but like how in Life is Strange, sometimes Max's nose would start bleeding whenever she used her powers. Or whatever, like all that sort of freaky stuff.
That
like she would just
the
get,
nose
like,
power people
sick.
like 11 in Stranger Things. That would be hilarious. That like if you use your power too much, like
nose starts bleeding.
Like you just start slipping and like bananas. Just
well, I think
it's
more like he's getting dizzy. He's getting delirious. Like
Vertigo?
he's fallen down on the floor because the flashback maybe is too much for him or whatever Ozpin's doing. Like the control. Like it's some Oscar Ozpin related drama. So. The other, I don't understand why people think this, but the idea is that Oscar, or Ozpin, revealed something about what happened to Team Stark, like, about Summer dying, and that's why everybody looks angry at him. But, from, like, a logical standpoint, I can't see Ozpin doing that, because it doesn't make any sense for him to tell them something that would clearly upset them when they're in the middle of nowhere and they could easily just, like murder him, you know what I'm saying? So, even though I understand why people would think that, because it looks like Team RWBY is angry, or maybe agitated, or, like, surprised, right? I don't know. Like, I don't know about that. He just doesn't... Unless Oscar told them and Ozpin is fighting him. Because Oscar just found out some info, and now he's like, well, I can't lie to them, and Ozpin's like, you have to, and then it becomes too much for him and he tells them anyway. Like, that could be a thing. Right? Because I'm guessing that there is going to be conflict between them, right? Because we talked about this before. Is that... How am I going to explain this? Right, that on the poster, like, they're divided, right? Like, they're back to back, right? And they're looking in two different directions. Like, that's a metaphorical sort of thing. So I feel like that this is kind of like that as well. But yeah, I think the most likely theories are sort of that it has something to do with Ozpin. That, like, he's fallen down because he's seen a flashback. Ozpin is trying to take control and he's fighting it, right? Like, just... Like, Oscar's just causing trouble, I guess. You know what I mean? So, something like that. But I also think that him just falling down because of the elements is fine.
Also, like as a Canadian who has walked through the snow many of times, because it's snow they're walking through, right? That's not really slippery. Like,
no,
maybe you could.
Maybe he's falling from exhaustion though, right? Because that's what we talked about, like him being exhausted, and then Team RWBY being like, "Oscar, you have to keep going." Here's the other thing though that
that's the first time he got tired. Like, the 18th time he's like, "Oscar, shut the fuck up."
I think him falling down and him screaming is two different things. I think Oscar fell down and was screaming when he got tossed out of the train cart because the train crashes. That's a scene that's in the trailer. You can see that the train's fallen over on one side and Ruby's looking at the relic. So I feel like that's what Oscar screams. Like he sees all these people die. And so the screaming is separate from him falling down in the snow. Does that make sense? Right? It's just out of order. So I think that that's one thing. I think the other thing is that some people think that it's actually because he's gotten too close to the relic, and that's why he's trailing so far behind in all of the other shots.
Why would the relic hurt him then?
I don't know. We'll find out, I guess. I don't, like, they're gifts from the gods, right? So they shouldn't, but at the same time, he's cursed by the gods, so it could sort of be connected in that way.
Well, I think curse, he was imbued by abilities by the god. Curse is just how... He said
he was cursed.
Curse, well, I mean, probably, like, the first two times, he was like, sweet, I'm still kicking. And then maybe around, like, go 98, he was like, alright, now this is a curse, I'm not enjoying myself. Please give me the sweet release of death.
Maybe. You understand what I'm saying, though, right? I think that the relic affecting him would kind of be interesting, though, because it would just give us more insight on his history with the gods, like, and all that stuff. Like, what if Ozpin can't attain, like, what if Ozpin was able to use the relics before, but now he can't use them because he's been punished, right? You know what I mean? That even though they would help in defeating Salem, that's a stipulation that the gods have sort of put on him is, hey, you can't use our relics for your bullshit. Right?
Can't use that relic for your bullshit.
Also, the old lady is not in the shot when they're walking, and neither is Yang's bike. So that kind of brings up the question of when this scene is, right? Because there's the old lady on the bike, and there's Crow and all that, but the old lady's gone, the bike's gone, and Crow's also gone, so when does this scene sort of take place? But yeah, I really like the flashback idea, personally. I think that's a good one. I think the screaming is just in frustration. Like, I feel like that is after maybe the train crashed or something else bad happened. Like, Oscar's just screaming because he's scared. You know? Like, that's usually why people scream, right?
What if that scream's taken from, like, a Fluff episode where they go snowmobiling or, I don't know.
And he just screams like
an
anime guy.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Like, yelling at nothing, I don't know. But what do you think, Hunter?
What do I think? I think people may be looking a little too deep in this. He's probably just tucking it out because he's mushing around in the snow.
Well, that's what I thought too, but
I don't know.
What if it's Oscar,
it seems like an odd part. Like, I mean, I understand that we.
But how about the shouting? Like, that's supposed to be in the like that's like supposed to be like.
But they're also like being attacked on the train.
Well, that's
later,
what I'm saying. I'm saying maybe they're
it
screaming because he's scared.
And not from him just falling down in that situation.
Oscar's like, go without me, Team RWBY, and Team RWBY's like, but you have Ozpin.
Okay, see ya. And then
they just leave.
Oh, worst case scenario, he fucking dies. Well, we know what happens after that, don't we? See ya.
Yikes.
Toodles.
But yeah, people were saying that Blake is getting ready to draw her weapon, and then Yang looks angry. So what if there's actually something behind him that we can't actually see in the shot? Like, what if he's gotten caught... Hello? Are you okay? What if he's gotten caught by a Grim in there?
The paint on your gas mask is chipping.
Is it?
Yes,
How?
I don't know, it just is.
Oh my god, but we haven't even worn it, though.
No, we haven't.
Oh my god, how did that happen? That's a nick. Like, that is an aggressive lack of paint on that. Yikes, that was a very expensive gas.
It was, and you barely used it.
I know. It's my fault. Can't breathe in it.
And you cried the first night you brought it home about it.
Because I broke it.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, want to put it back? I don't remember what I was going to say. But what if that's it? What if there's some sort of giant Grim behind him or some sort of villain, and that's why Team RWBY is taking out their weapons? Like, he's fallen because the Grim has knocked him down.
I don't know. I just think it's probably
then where is Crow and the lady?
Doing something different.
Did you
I just
cut! Like, no. Okay. Anyway. So that's it, guys. If you guys enjoyed this video, remember that you guys should become patrons over on Patreon if you guys want to support the channel. And yeah, we will see you guys later. Bye. Thank you guys for watching the video. If you guys enjoyed, I encourage you guys to become patrons over on Patreon. Patrons get a lot of different rewards, ranging from early access to all of our videos up to a week in advance. $10 patrons actually get them sometimes weeks in advance, or even like a month in advance. It depends on how much we record for. But also, all of our patrons get access to our Discord server, which is really cool if you guys want to talk to us in a more direct way. I obviously hang out a lot there, and there are just a bunch of other rewards that you guys can check out on Patreon. You guys can sort of see for yourself, and if you want to support us, you want to help us out, you want to see more videos like this and want to help keep us going, you guys would really help us out. So yeah, I hope that you guys will consider becoming patrons, and I hope that all of our patrons enjoy seeing their lovely names at the end of the screen, because we couldn't do this without them. So I will see you guys later. Bye.